Hey there, welcome back. Hope you had an awesome fall break. I know I did, and it was great. Got to I worked on my house a little bit, but then I spent a few days in Chicago. It was senior day for my daughter's college soccer game, and that really triggered some thinking in my mind that I'm going to share with you a little bit. I, my flight was after church yesterday, so I wasn't able to attend. But as I was at senior day, I really had some. Well, it was emotional, of course, but anyway, I'm going to just share a couple of thoughts on that. But before we do that, let's dive into our calendar here. A relatively simple week this week. Some nice rhythms as we start quarter two today. So our second quarter starts today. So your grades start over today. So all right, let's dive in here, gang. Obviously, you got the Monday morning message, and right here you've got quarter two begins, which means your new electives begin tomorrow. Not all, most of you sent in your requests, which is great. And so I have those populated. But some of you, I don't have your electives. So I have not yet checked again this morning. But when I left, I kind of walked away from my computer about midday Wednesday. I had populated who I had, and I haven't looked since. So if you've done it since then I'll look at that later this morning and get you put in there. So, but many of the classes filled really fast. So I'll do my best to get you your choices. So anyway, quarter two begins, and that also means there's a shift for 7th and 8th grade in your Bible. Let me grab my notes here. So if you were in Mrs. Naylor's, you are now going to Mr. Zietzi. Mr. Zietzi's class is with Mrs. Bohannon, and Mrs. Bohannon's class is moving to Bible in Mrs. Lindenmeyer. Mrs. Lindenmeyer, you are with Mrs. Naylor. So that's 8th grade. 7th grade, Mrs. McCraith's class is moving to Mrs. Deere. Mrs. Deere's class is moving to Mr. Fuller. Mr. Fuller's class is moving to Miss V's, and Miss V is moving to Mrs. McCraith. So those are your new Bible assignments. And after Christmas, when we start quarter three, you'll shift another one. So ultimately, you'll end up in 7th and 8th grade, you'll end up with all 4 teachers. Okay. Okay, I'm out. So every quarter or so, the leadership team is off campus for an entire day, working honestly on next year's stuff. Yes, we do start talking about it this early. So I'm out of the office all day Wednesday. Moms in Prayer, that's Wednesday also at 8:30. All are welcome. Thursday, Dads and Donuts, 7:30. Dads or father figures, guardians, you are all welcome, 7:30. That is this Thursday, and I think Chaplain Jones is going to have some words to share with you. And then a quick update on chapel. There is no official chapel this week. It is Faith Families. So honestly, parents, guardians, those that have been coming to chapel, there's really not much for you to attend there. So it is strictly of Faith Families, our first Faith Families of the year. And then Grow Groups Friday, and then early release. And then tonight is DC Preview Night. It's like an open house. It's really great. It's just an opportunity to learn more and more about Denver Christian. So if you know some folks that are interested in learning more about Denver Christian, you can let them know about tonight. So anyway, that's at 6:30. I believe. Faith formation. So couple of things about faith formation. Obviously, we have chapel, but we also have wildlife. Wildlife is like Young Life. I know many of you attend it. I grew up as a Young Life kid. They didn't have wildlife when I was in middle school and junior high, but obviously they do now. I grew up in it as a Young Life kid. My dad was in Young Life for 25 years. It's an amazing experience, and I'm going to send out. I'm going to populate this when I get an updated flyer from Miss Silvernail. She's Driggs's mom and is employed by Young Life, and I mean she's amazing. So she'll get me some updated information, but that is under Faith Formation. And you just click on wildlife here, and then of course our grow groups. Leaf raking, last thing, leaf raking. I really need drivers. I'm short a handful of drivers, and I need drivers. So if you are at all able to do some leaf raking with us, it's a couple of weeks from now. It's November 3. It's really, really fun. And I would love for you to join us. Parents, if you can drive, that would be great. This thing literally cannot happen without you. It cannot happen without you. And I've got, like I said, I'm a handful of drivers short, which that's a lot. And so if you are able to do that, it's under activities and events. Go to the leaf raking under activities events, and it's got all the details here. And then here's the form to fill it out. So anyway, really, really, really need drivers, background check and all that. It's a great day. I've done it for 20 years, at least we've done it for 20 years. And then I've done it as a dad a number of times. It's so much fun. And so anyway, highly recommend and really request that you help us fulfill our mission of raking nearly 120 lawns. So anyway, that is that. All right. So I wasn't in church. This is one of my favorite books. Highly recommend it. And so I kind of searched through here. Seeing God and Being Seen is the title here. And so the opening prayer is, then run, faithful souls, happy and tireless. Keep up with your beloved, who marches with giant strides, our beloved. From one end of heaven to the other, nothing is hidden from his eyes. He walks alike over the smallest blade of grass, the tallest cedar, grains of sand, or our Rocky Mountains. Wherever you go, he has gone before. Only follow him and you will find him everywhere. So, senior day out for my daughter. She goes to a Christian college in Chicago, and it's just been amazing. She's a senior, obviously, nursing student. And we had an opportunity Friday night. It was a meal with the entire soccer team, but it was obviously focused on the seniors. And one of the beautiful things that I've appreciated about this experience for our daughter, and we didn't tell our daughter where to go. We just said, you can't go to college in Colorado. You got to get out of here and go live a life and learn to live on your own and all that stuff. So we kind of shoved them out of the nest, both my kids. They both ended up in the Midwest. The coach, Coach Lenars, he knows more about my daughter than he does just as a human. Now she has started really since she got there. She's pretty good and has played, and now it's just been a great experience. But this note here, seeing God and being seen, when both my kids were looking at their colleges, they truly owned the whole child experience. Like, they experienced it here at Denver Christian for years and years. But they also said, you know what, at Denver Christian, I'm known, loved, seen, and heard. I want to continue to be known, loved, seen, and heard. I don't want anything other than that. I want to really feel on a daily basis that God has walked here before me, that he sees me. And so when it says nothing is hidden from his eyes, my kids feel that. And my daughter specifically feels that because her coach sees her that way. Her coach sees her as a whole child. Her coach knows that God has walked before her and wherever she goes. And so as we're sitting there, we're like, we didn't know how this was going to go. How's college soccer going to be? How's it going to be as a college student in an intense nursing program and playing soccer? And we basically said, you know what? God's got this. He's walked before our daughter through this path. He has gone before us. And so we knew that we were placing our daughter in the midst of an amazing godly man. We knew that God had walked before her at this college. And that was reiterated once again this past weekend, hanging out with the team. The other thing was really fun. She scored on senior day, so that was fun. Anyway, so embrace the whole child and truly recognize that God walked before her, and her coach knows that, and we know that. Anyway, that's it for me. Love y'all. Be good. And we'll see you in the halls, and welcome back.